What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to my channel for another Hot Toys figure preview video. Today we are going to be talking about the newly released Human Torch from the movie Deadpool and Wolverine, a figure that was just announced as of 2 days ago, and very excited about this figure. I cannot wait to get it. Obviously it's going to take a while. He is expected for early 2026 to possibly late 2026. The figure is up for pre-order, so if you guys want to go ahead and purchase it, I will include the link to Sideshow Collectibles as always, so that way you guys can pre-order the figure if you guys are interested in doing so. Now, the guy himself is Chris Evans, coming back as Johnny Storm slash the Human Torch. I'll be honest, in no way, shape, or form that I expect them to be, in the movie when he was, when pretty much he took off his hood. I was shocked, as I'm sure a lot of you guys were, and but again, it was very nice to see him. I also grew up with the Fantastic Four movies featuring him and the Silver Surfer and the rest of the characters. Jessica Alba as well, So to me, I was a big fan of those movies, and I was a big fan of Johnny Storm, a very young Chris Evans, and seeing him reprise his role as the Human Torch was very nice to see. And so again, I was very shocked to see him in the movie, and I am also very shocked to know that Hot Toys has released a figure for him. Now, this is the second Chris Evans figure we've gotten in the last couple of months, the other one being the Captain American figure from the Winter Soldier. And again, I do want to talk about him because there are a lot of interesting things going on with the guy. Now that we've pretty much gotten him released, now we can actually kind of hope for to get other figures. So for example, Cassandra Nova, I would love to get her, especially the Wolverine, also known as Henry Cavill, coming back, coming to Marvel to portray an alternate version of Wolverine. So it would be nice to get him. Obviously we're gonna get the whole, I think it's called the Renaissance, which is gonna be all of the figures from Blade to Elektra and the rest of the figures. So we are getting a lot of figures from this specific movie, and it's gonna be a really nice collection. But again, I just didn't see the Human Torch coming, but I'm very happy that we got him released. Now, that guy himself, he comes with a lot of accessories. I gotta tell you guys, the whole figure itself, it's absolutely amazing. To me, the fire effects look really cool, and they're very glossy from what it seems. Now again, I'm just going based on the promo pics that Hot Toys has provided, so we'll see once we get these things in person. We'll see if we'll get any type of LED light up effects or batteries, so that way those fire effects turn on a little bit brighter, especially this big piece right here. The smaller ones, I'll be okay if we don't get that type of light up effect. Now, to me, I've seen a lot of power effects and and things like that from Hot Toys that are made out of plastic, but the one piece I really fell in love with was the one that they did for Moff Gideon. As you guys know, he has a fire effect that goes attached to his wrist, and that fire piece to me was my favorite effect that I've ever seen made by Hot Toys, because it was so glossy that it didn't need any type of light up effect. It was so glossy and bright, it seemed that it was already turned on. So I'm hoping that they can continue that and they can go on with this guy right here, because the effects look really nice. I'm just hoping that they are bright as well. I'm hoping one day we also can get a Johnny Storm figure, but completely turned on, full of fire. That would be a very nice figure as well to get. Now, I've heard of a lot of different opinions, and obviously it's going to be about that head sculpt, which is on this image, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. To me, right now, I'm just going based on the outfit. I think the outfit is very nice. The guy looks muscular, as he's supposed to be. We all know Chris Evans is a pretty buff guy himself, and I like the fact that we're going to get both options to dress him up, which is going to be with his regular costume and also with that cloak that he had pretty much throughout the whole movie. Although, well, obviously he was only part of about 5 minutes until he got pretty much demolished by Cassandra Nova, which I was very sad to see. I know that he's in the void, and I know that he was just a temporary type of character. He's not supposed to steal the spotlight from Deadpool and Wolverine, but still in all, it was very nice to see him. And again, very sad to know that he just got killed right away. But again, I fully understand it because he would have stolen the show had he continued in the movie. Pretty much, again, as I mentioned before, all of the effect pieces, they look great. The suit itself looks really nice, and the clothes itself looks pretty good as well. I like how damaged it look, and pretty much we get a lot of weathering effects. He also has his bented wrists that it is accurate to the movie from what I can see. And I know that we'll have some seam lines in between his wrists. That's something that's, that we're pretty much accustomed to Hot Toys. But looking at these images right here, those seam lines do not seem to be that noticeable, so that is a good thing as well. The fire effect pieces, from what I can tell from the images, it seems that we're going to have different options of posing them in different ways, so that is a good thing, at least to have those options to pose the figure. And I like how out of, like they're out of place, all over the figure, so that is a good thing as well. So I think pretty much I have discussed everything that I could with the actual outfit itself. Let's get to the main event of this whole figure preview, and that is the new Chris Evans head sculpt featuring Johnny Storm, once again made by JC Hong, who I follow on Instagram. To me, I think that lately I'm not sure how long he's been doing Hot Toys head sculpts, but he's done a fantastic job with all the ones that I've seen. Usually whenever Hot Toys release a figure, he releases his own figure, his own images of how he made the head sculpt, and to me, usually he gets it on point. He's done perfect head sculpts, so he's been phenomenal with the work that he's been doing. But I've noticed a lot of people commenting on this, and I completely agree with you guys. There's something about Chris Evans that I think JC Hong hasn't been able to fully get. As I mentioned before, this is the second Chris Evans figure we're going to get. The other one being Captain America from the Winter Soldier movie. And when I did that figure preview, I talked about how I thought that head sculpt was not bad, but it wasn't great. It wasn't his best work. I thought that it kind of missed something, and unfortunately I think we have the same issue right here. I don't think this is a bad head sculpt. It's not a miss either. It's got a lot of good things in it. I think the hairpiece, it's accurate. It looks pretty good. I liked his burn marks all around his face. That's accurate as well. Or I guess burn and dirt marks, that's accurate as well. His facial hair as well, I can see somewhat Chris Evans from some angles. So again, as I mentioned before, it's not a bad head sculpt. I think it's a good head sculpt, but it's not a great one. I just don't know what it is, but I can't fully see Chris Evans on here. Maybe it's the eyes, it's too small. Maybe it could be the facial expressions, or maybe it's the skin lines that they added. I know Chris Evans is a little bit older at this point, but I don't think he's that old. So I think that's possibly where they messed it up. Please let me know in the comments. I really want you guys to comment on the head sculpt, because I just know it's not perfect, but I'm having a hard time figuring out why that is. It's obvious that that he doesn't fully look like Chris Evans, but I guess the question is why is it? Is it the eyes? Is it the facial expression? Is it the nose? Is it the skin lines that make him look a little bit too old? Is it a combination of everything? Please make sure to comment below what is it that is missing about this head sculpt. But again, unfortunately, this is the second head sculpt that for Chris Evans that JC Hong hasn't been able to fully do well. Again, I am nobody to be talking bad about anybody, because trust me, if they ever put me to make a figure, I would have no chance at making it. So these people do great jobs of it. Again, my job here is, well, not my job, right? But what I like to do is just talk about the figure that I'm going to be purchasing, and what do I think initially. So to me, I think, again, as I mentioned before, the head sculpt isn't the best. It could be better. Thankfully, it's just prototype images. And what I've noticed is that whenever JC Hong posts images of the head sculpt that he has created, a lot of people have commented, and he seems to be acknowledging all of those comments. So he might work on that, and hopefully the final product will be better, not just for this figure, but also for that Captain American figure from the Winter Soldier. So I did want to go ahead and discuss that head sculpt. As I mentioned before, I think from a scale of 1 to 10, I think about a 6.5. It's a good head sculpt. It's not the worst thing in the world either, but it could be a little bit better. But that's probably the only thing that I can find This, I'll be honest, I cannot remember. So as you guys can see the difference of the colors. So this is completely navy blue. This is more kind of like a jean type of blue. I don't remember if this is accurate to the actual movie. Please forgive me on that. Obviously I watched the movie, but I only watched it once, so I don't remember fully. But what I will say that is accurate, as I mentioned before, is the dirt marks on his skin, and also the hair piece, and the whole outfit itself. The look of it looks really nice as well. So I think they got all of those things correctly. With all the fire effect, flaming effect accessories, it's gonna look really nice. So pretty much just getting to the last image, as I mentioned before, very excited to go ahead and get this guy. We're also gonna get a hexagonal display base that looks pretty good as well. I like the Fantastic Four logo right here, and also the fire effects on the sides, along with the Deadpool and Wolverine and Human Torch nameplate at the bottom. We're gonna get a lot of hand pieces, some without the wrapping, some with the wrapping, a lot of fire effect pieces, the head sculpt with separate rolling eyeballs, which is something that we're always going to get for Hot Toys, and then the removable cloak for alternative display styles, so that way we have options to pose the figure. To me, honestly, I'm just excited to get the figure. As I mentioned before, I'm a big fan of Johnny Storm, and I grew up with the Fantastic Four movies, so it's very exciting to know that we're going to get this figure. Cannot wait to get him. Please let me know in the comments what you guys think about his release, and let me know which figures you want to get for this specific movie. At the beginning of the video, as I mentioned, I really want to see the Wolverine as well as Cassandra Nova, but there could be other figures that you guys can possibly think of. So please let me know in the comments what are figures that you want to see. Once the Red Suns figures come out, obviously for now we only have X23, but once the other ones come out, I'll make sure to do figure previews on them as well, and I cannot wait to complete this whole collection. So for now, this is going to be it for this figure preview video. I think we've pretty much discussed everything about the guy. As I mentioned before, he is up for pre-order on Sideshow, and I will include the link as always if you guys want to go ahead and pre-order the figure. As always, want to thank you for supporting the channel and for watching my videos. And as I always like to mention, if it's the first time that you're watching me, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and also join, so that way for more figure unboxings as well as figure previews. As I mentioned in previous videos, I have a lot of figure unboxings. Tomorrow I will be releasing another figure unboxing, and I have a lot coming up, so stay tuned in. As these next couple of weeks, there's going to be a lot of videos dropping on the channel. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in to this figure preview for the Human Torch from the Deadpool and Wolverine, and I will see you next time.